Hey guys, Philosopher here, and today we're going to be doing some testing for Mighty Thor. We had the red star pulls out earlier today. Got some pretty good pulls. Got a 5 red star on her. Got the some good pulls on her orbs. Let's just what I'm going to do now is talk a little bit about the T4s and ISO for the team. I think her only essential T4 is this bottom one here. I think it's super essential, though. Apply 1 charge to the entire team. I think that's very important. I think the 100% damage, I think the plus 100% damage is also nice. This is her out-of-turn damage. This is really what I think makes this character special. Just so you know, the entire team is super slow. Most of them are like 100 speed. Thor's a little slower. Sif's a little faster, but they're around 100 speed. Super slow team. And basically the way the team works is they all stay alive, and they get hit a bunch, and then these charges go off, and Mighty Thor and the other regular Thor, old Thor, OG Thor, kill people. And they do other stuff too, but that's a big part of it. And so having additional damage from that out-of-turn attack is really helpful at the end of any turn. If this character is 5 or more charged, attack the enemy with the highest damage that does not have trauma, and then apply trauma and so on and more. And then in addition to that, giving the additional charges out to the team is huge. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the T4s. I do think that this one is very nice to have. 80% piercing to everyone is nice. Apply blind to the primary target's nice. In war, defenses will be probably her, I would assume, her turn 1 ability. So I do think that's awfully nice. It'll probably be something that's extremely nice to have or low-end essential for war defense. Not sure yet. And then this to me is just nice to have. 80% piercing to primary and secondary targets. Very nice to have, but it's just a nice to have. And then this is purely damage. We don't know our ISO attack yet. It's not up on MSF.gg, but this didn't seem like a super T4 intensive character. Obviously, I will just say, taking a step back here for a minute, and I said this in the Red Star Open video, this is a team that most of you would ordinarily skip. I think most players just cannot afford to build up a war defense team that has 3 mystic characters on it. I think that's just... I think, what is it, 2? Yeah, 3 with 3 mystic characters, right? She's mystic as well. Yeah, 3 mystic characters on it. And Heimdall, by the way, is very expensive to gear. So I will say that this is a team that many of you should skip, but I would get the shards to the extent you can anyways, just because, there's a very good chance that this team will be needed for the next Scourge, because, let's face it, Scopely basically requires us to build everything at this point. So let's take a look. So why do I have her as a fortifier? This is something I debated very heavily, and we'll look at it in the context of the whole team. Actually, let me finish the T4s first, then we'll talk about ISO. For Sif, I didn't really regard... I do think this 25% resistance is awfully nice to have. I did put some T4s on it. I put some T4s that were essential on the Wakandan team instead of placing them here. I'm not sure if that was the right choice, but... this is a very nice to have, the 25% resistance for sure. This is just okay to me. Once again, just okay. To me, these T4s, she's a tank, so whatever. Not that excited about those T4s. For Thor, this T4 is probably the most helpful one on him. 5% damage, just flat 5% damage overall, and then 20% damage to all enemies on maximum charges. That's nice. 20% damage to all enemies. That is very nice to have. Maybe you could argue essential. I think it's just very nice to have. This also very nice to have. To me, this T4 and the passive were both used to be considered essential back in the day, but I just think as the game has been power crept, I just don't think these 2 T4s have kept up. So to me, they used to be essential, but they're nice to have. If any of the 2 is more important, I'd say it would be the passive at this point. This is just a nice to have. Some additional damage and some additional crit chance. And then here, flipping defense up on the primary target. It's nice, but it's less important. I mean, the team ignores a lot of the abilities to ignore defense up. It's not super important. So not a very T4 intensive team. I did do 2 T4s on Heimdall though. I did his passive. I think this one is absolutely essential. When this character or anyone on the team drops below 50% health, apply 2 death proof and speed up for 2 turns to that character. That's huge. It's out of turn defense of sorts. It's like Shuri or Squirrel Girl, very powerful. It's like an out of turn attack. If they skip the line when it comes to a turn based game, very important. Don't think that this really matters much at all. Is damage is not really important. Clearing 2 negative effects instead of 1, I think, is huge. Here's the team cleanse, and I just think that's important. I don't know how essential, but it was just I felt like it was one that I wanted to make sure I had on there. And then I don't think his basic matters at all. So not a super T4 intensive team. We'll get a better look when we go to Valkyrie and see what her T4s look like. So let's take a talk about ISO here for a second. So to me, Thor is basically there just to do damage. I mean, he gets those charges and blasts everyone. His damage stat now is among the very highest in the game after the rework. So if you look at the highest damagers in the game, now Thor is 5th between Madeline Pryor and Ghost Spider. So very, very significant damage coming out of him. So to me, he's either, you would either probably put Raider or Striker on him. I put Raider. His ISO attack's not important. And to me, if there's any Striker on the team, it'll probably be Valkyrie, although we don't know exactly what the ISO attacks look like because they're not on MSF.gg and the game doesn't show them to us. Come on, Scopely. But, Thor, as Thor goes, what I would say about Thor as a character is, he does have, you could make an argument for healer because all these characters do heal up on their turn, which is nice, and ISO healer ISO does impact that. You could even make an argument for fortifier because this team, the more it sticks around, the more charges it gets and damage and all that. And frankly, this is a team that really that's how it does its thing because it doesn't take a ton of turns. But I think getting the damage on Raider from him is the right choice. He does get a lot of crit chance. He gets 25% from Valkyrie's passive and 25% from Heimdall's. But to me, the fact that he's going to be at close to 100% crit chance is great because you get that'll give him extra crit damage from the Raider as well. So I did that. He's got a lot of multiple attacks on his attacks. He's got his ultimate hits everybody. His passive hits everybody, and then the special hits multiple targets. And then Mighty. So Sif I thought was a fairly easy choice because she's she's the tank who's going to get attacked first. So I think in blue ISO, a fortifier is just way better than healer, and I think effectively this does help. She's going to be the one who goes first and taunts up. I think her speed is 108. Yeah. Which is not very slow, but not as slow as the others. But I think it basically effectively gives her extra health pool, which means that even as she gets damaged, she can be, healing up underneath that fortifier. And then I think Mighty Thor is the one that I have the most questions about. Heimdall I left as healer. I think an argument could be made for fortifier for him. Either one. I just feel like he's not going to be an early target on this team because that just attacking him would build up some charges. And, he's basically just a guy that throws out ability, energy, and cleanses once in a while and that sort of thing. So having him as healer means that there'll be some healing for the others. Although, given his speed, not very fast, 100 speed, I think an argument could be made for fortifier. And then Mighty Thor, I made as fortifier just because I do think she may be an early target, at least for now. And I thought it'll be fun to test because that'll allow her to take some more hits. She's got a really, really high health pool. She's got literally, it's almost as big as Dormammu's. Look at this. 5th highest in the game between Dormammu and Gambit. So super high health pool. Arguments, though, I think could be made for either Raider or Striker for her because she also has out of turn damage. Here where she's going to be attacking the enemy with the highest damage. And I also think an argument could be made for Skirmisher because she's going to be flipping positive to negative effects and potentially putting blind here. Where is she putting blind? Is that on this one? Yeah, putting blind. It's one attack and it's every 7 turns. It just seemed like a lot. If that one ability is super important, then I'll end up switching her to Skirmisher. All right, so that's kind of how I have the team set up. Let's get in and test them. I know I spent a lot of time discussing, but those are my initial impressions. Obviously, it takes me a little time to do infographics because I do a lot of testing. Let me see if there's something I can attack with them in war, because I know people just have fun seeing them in war. And if not, then we will go and just have fun with them in like DD3 or something like that. But let's try war first. Let's just see. If there's nothing right now, we'll just do the animations first and see if there's something. I don't want to risk them on the mercs, because they don't. They're just going to be sitting there while the mercs are bashing at them. I'm not sure that would work. How that would work. I don't want to take any chances in a real war here. All right, let's go to Blitz first and see how Asgardians do. This will be the new Asgardian team here, so I think we would put, well, not her. We'll put Sif here, and I think we can put Hela. I don't really care that much about Hela. And then these are my damagers over here, so we'll put them off to the side. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, let's see if they can beat Infinity Watch without Valkyrie. That's going to be very interesting. Let's try it out. This should give me a chance, because Infinity Watch is a long fight as well. It should give me a chance to show off the animations. You know, one thing I will say is I think Valkyrie is really the anti Infinity Watch character here. Okay, you can see the charges building. Okay. We can try this. I mean, they're gonna evade him. At least we cleared the dodges. Okay, we got the ability block on Heimdall. They're gonna get pretty rolled here. All right, Thor's not doing much of anything. So far, Hela is actually doing more than most. I don't think there's anything worth spreading here. Okay, so finally Sif goes. Not sure why we didn't get that. All right, so let's look at her animation here. So there's some without safeguard. So let's do this and see the ultimate animation. Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. Not bad. Okay. She really doesn't like File of L. All right, let's go back to 3x here. And then there you go. Thor's thumping stuff. I could see why that fortifier was helpful there. And she's already dead. All right. That didn't work so well, did it? All right, let's quit out of here. All right, that was just okay. Let's try this team. Let's see if there's if that war team is up. I think for fun, we will see how they do against the Mercs with Surfer. They're supposed to be on war defense, but I didn't want to put them on war defense until I had Jane Foster. Okay, no, somebody else has got this. And let's go to DD3. I do think this team on the test server did okay, decent with Valkyrie, but obviously without Valkyrie. Let's just see how they do. Let's look at the rest of the animations here in DD3. All right, we're no longer testing X-Men. We're going to test Asgardians. Basically just seeing how they do. I put Hela here basically just so when she dies, she kind of creates a gap. between the tank and other characters. All right, you can see that they are rolling. They're rolling Thor here. It's just the speed is a real problem. Yeah, the damage is high, but yeah, the damage is super high. Look at how much he's doing on the damage. So that's nice. All right, so let's see. We get some taunt up on her. Okay, thank goodness. Can Heimdall land his heal block on these characters? Yes, because they're old. All right, we already saw the ult. So just let's watch it again and just see. Why not? Well, let's watch it again. It is cool looking. No doubt about that. Oh wow, okay. She calls upon like thunder or whatever. Boom. Thor seems like a major star here so far, but he's not living very long. He's kind of brittle. Yeah, Thor is really thumping people right now. Okay, she's attacking people out of turn because she got charges. All right, let's spread the heal block, I guess. All right. All right, let's get rid of that heal block. All right, he's thumping. All right, let's look at her special animation now. Oh, wow. So I guess like, wow. So what happened is, I guess, Mjolnir splintered up into the splinters. The splinters broke up and attacked the enemy, and then they came back into the hammer, which is kind of cool. I mean, that probably happens in the movie or something. Who knows? Okay. Thor's doing stuff. Yep, he's going to attack people again with his special. No question that this is a team that's going to really rely, I think, on a big Sif. I think the bigger your Sif is, that's going to help a lot. All right, we're going to see her basic in a minute. All right, let's check it out. I mean, it looks cool. Interesting. All right, let's... It's interesting to see how well this team does. I mean, compared to the Unlimited X-Men, they seem like they're doing a little bit better just because they all have healing on it, right? That's really the thing. All right, now Thor is gone. So not bad. Obviously, they're just gear tier 4. A couple of them are just gear tier 14. Interesting. Definitely a time in the game when tanks are important. You know, as Trevor in my chat is saying, you know, Wong and then Sif. Heal block's still an issue for the team. They can cleanse it with Heimdall, but definitely an issue for that team for sure. And yeah, Valkyrie's definitely going to be important to the team, which makes sense because they want you to spend money on their offers. All right, let's see if there's something we can attack here. See how they do in war, because they do seem like a bit of a swing team. Okay, this is a really unimpressive list of teams here. This guy really got heisted by Nowhere Heist. Might want to upgrade some other characters. So let's... We could try the... I mean, I think they're going to get rolled. Okay, whoops, somebody else took that anyway. I think they're going to get rolled by a team like Young Avengers on offense, so I don't really want to take that. I don't want to take that loss here. All right, let's just use them against the Wave 1 Avengers just to see how they are. All right. So there we go. And I don't know if this is the right layout for them. The reason I have Hella here, she doesn't really fit with the team, so she dies like whatever. This should be easy. This is a big punch down. It's more to just see what the team looks like in more than anything. Obviously, you're going to have this team in war defense because they're a war defense team and they're designed that way. And that means we're never going to get to play them. So this is probably my only time ever playing this team in war. We can see which Thor is better. Your Thor or my Thor? Okay. See if we can flip all their buffs. We flipped 2 of them. Yep, we did. Now they all got slow. They're totally screwed because they're old and power crept. Boom. And we'll spread those bleeds. Why not? Uh-oh, Hulk's angry, and that just makes Thor angry. Mighty Thor is really not doing much here. She did flip the buffs, which I think was important because she flipped the speed up to slow down, which really killed the team. And there you go. She's doing her thing. Okay. Probably the killing blow will be Mighty Thor. Let's see what her killing animation looks like. This is that splinters thing. All right. There she is. Okay. Interesting. So, a lot of people are asking, is this a character worth buying? And the answer is, if you think she's going to, you don't know, because we don't know whether she's going to be used for the next Scourge. I mean, let's face it, Scopely's deliberately keeping us in the dark on that, so who knows? Right? If this was a team that was not going to be a Scourge team, if Scourge didn't exist, if we were in the normal world of legendaries, I would say it's a no-brainer to skip this team for most players, unless you're like a super geek out on war kind of player, or like a major whale. Like, why would you build a war defense team that requires Mystic gear? It's like, no thanks, right? All right, so wait, we don't have Thor. Oh, that's not going to go very well, right? Actually, what we'll do is we'll flip Loki and Ella. All right, we're doing this for fun. Yeah, most players don't want to build war defense teams. War defense teams generally just get power crept within a patch or two, and then they become obsolete. And war rewards are lackluster. And so unless you're like a super whale or you're just like super into war, it's like you skip these teams. Particularly a team that requires Mystic gear. It's not like they're a team that requires some gear that you don't need or whatever. But I think everyone's got a Mystic crunch. Yeah, this is just I'm just gonna quit out of this. This is a waste of time. We'll see if there's somebody using anything other than Darkhold. One of the issues with RTA, of course, is that now, it's for whatever reason they ban they always ban one of the Eternals, but they don't ban Darkhold, and so they ban some Darkhold, but there's usually enough of the team together that you can use that team and or Dormammu, and you just roll everyone. So yeah, I mean, this team, I will say this about the Asgardian team. I mean, they look, yeah, we'll just quit out. I'm not going to do RTA. It's a waste of time. It's going to be all Asgard, all Darkhold all the time. But what I will say is, this team looks to me not to be like Heroes for Hire when it first came out, where it was absurd and just couldn't be beat or anything like that. It's a good team. I don't know whether it's necessarily as good as Young Avengers or not. I guess that remains to be seen when we test it in a real live environment. But I think it's an interesting team. It's certainly not a bad team, and you could kind of see that in DD3 when they got rolling. I think the team will be better if I got these 3 characters up to gear tier 15. It's just a lot of Mystic gear to do that, and I'll consider whether I want to do that in the future. But I think for most players, the right choice is just get the shards and shelve the team. I just don't think that putting gear into a war defense team makes sense. If this turns out to be a Scourge team, great. You got the shards. Focus on your other priorities, more important stuff. If you have nothing else to build, great. You can put some gold on the team, but I don't know if I blow all your Mystic gear like I did. I just made a video. Unless you're making videos, you don't have to do that. All right, guys, if you like this video, I don't know if I liked it. So do what you want to do, but you can smash that like button or subscribe to this channel. If you have comments, questions, cheers. If you're happy, sad, angry, mad, you can put it below or go to my Discord. That's linked below. You can also go to my Twitch stream. That is linked below too. And if you want to sponsor the channel or help to support the channel, you can check out our Amazon coins link. That is linked below.